All you have to do is flip that switch. It tells Mirza Regla where we are. She won't stop until you're dead.
Come and find me.
Hanna follows a 16-year-old super assassin fighting for her life.
Adapt or die.
Think on your feet.
Even when I'm sleeping.
Shall I kill her?
Just find her.
After a lifetime of isolation with her father, Hanna finally confronts the government agency that forced her family into hiding.
If we're going to be friends, you're going to have to be honest. I'd like to have a friend.
As her battle crosses 2 continents, Hanna develops relationships she never knew were possible and uncovers shocking secrets about her
I
past.
tried to prepare you.
You didn't prepare me for this.
Hanna takes an action-packed look at the impact of childhood isolation on the typical teenage experience.
Sometimes children are bad people too.
I think we should talk about a movie of the week, which is Hanna. So we've all just seen it. Let's have at it. Who wants to start?
I really enjoyed this movie. I think it was one of the very few good movies I've seen lately. But I just loved it. I thought it was a breath of fresh air for action films. I found myself really enjoying it.
Enjoying it, though. I mean, come on, this is a serious, heavy movie. There's some pretty serious violence. There's a huge sort of doubt and pain of this character.
But it's set in this hyper-realist storyline, this narrative, and it's enthralling.
Let's talk about what Hanna is about. Let's tell.
Yes, our resident plot mama.
Okay. Wow. All right, I'll go with that.
Plot
okay,
auntie,
so,
you want that instead?
No, plot
It's a little
mama's good.
patronizing, don't you think, James?
Look, I'm in the center seat. I do whatever I want.
I'm going to tell Thane Mori. Okay, so Hanna is a story of a 16-year-old girl who has been raised in the Finlandian forest by her dad to be a trained badass assassin. But what's really going on here is we have a story about a rite of passage for a young girl that tells us that the world is a big, bad, scary place and that you will survive it, though. And I thoroughly enjoyed it.
So you're saying it's a coming-of-age metaphor?
It is a coming-of-age metaphor.
Well, I thought there were a lot of logic holes in this movie that kind of ruined the story for me, but I was able to suspend my disbelief because the action was so well-paced and it was directed so well. I really thought that this was the type of movie you don't really go to see and remember. It's the type of movie you go to watch and experience and then forget about once it's over. Kind of the one-night stand of movies, so.
It's a good point.
Not that I would know.
I felt fucked afterwards, and sort of like,
Chuck, come on.
what? No, this movie's just a total piece of garbage. I mean, the dialogue's fucking terrible. The story premise is extraordinarily weak, and there's so many logical plot. I mean, it's just one of those things where, like I've said it before, they force you through the story very quickly so you don't ask questions.
I disagree. I think it is a really well-balanced film. I think it trades off these moments of really kinetic, really brutal violence, and then these beautiful coming-of-age moments.
I like that great, coming of age. You're saying like her first date, her first friend. It's like really human moments for this character that maybe isn't so human all the time.
And her first kiss, the first time she hears music and gets technology because her dad's lived this Luddite life. I think it's great. But moving on from the story and the premise, I think one of the strengths of it is this poise of the writing. Right? Are we feeling the script?
Well, the script was on the blacklist twice, 2006, 2009, and the blacklist is...
The fuck does that matter? Read after number 9 on the blacklist.
The blacklist is a list of the best unproduced films in Hollywood. And the blacklist, Chuck, should you be so honored at some point in time in your screenwriting career to have a screenplay on the blacklist?
I should just get bought.
Okay, that's fair.
I like your chutzpah.
But it's an original spec script by Seth Lochhead and David Farr, and it is fresh, and it does exactly what films are supposed to do. It's supposed to give you the familiar, but make it something different and something original, and Hanna hits all points on that.
But I do agree that there are some plot holes, like just in general, but I forgive them as well because it is such an exciting film.
And I think those characters that they put forth, especially, and I swear I'm going to butcher this name, so I apologize. Saoirse Ronan. Yeah, like Miss Ronan is for the rest of the film. As far as I think, Saoirse Ronan does a great job of conveying that depth and complexity. And I think the acting across the board is great.
Well, the look of the film is there, and that includes the cast, the way it was shot, and in terms of production values, the music is there as well. But I mean, Saoirse Ronan was amazing. I mean, of course, half of her performance is the way she looks and that spooky look in her eyes. But I thought she brought the other half as well in her subtlety. And
Eric Bana, for the first time in a long time, does a great job as an actor. But we can all agree, Cate Blanchett, the worst Southern accent of all time. Yeah?
I don't know. I mean, I bought her. I didn't realize
great.
it was supposed to be a Texas accent, but I bought it. You know, Cate Blanchett, she's gold to me.
She's got a free pass.
She gets a pass.
Really?
She really can do no wrong.
But you liked the Germans, though, didn't you?
No, I thought that like gay little German dude as the assassin was pretty good. I mean, I really even liked Blanchett. I thought
so. An excellent cast all around, I think.
I was a little bit annoyed with Saoirse Ronan. All I could see the entire movie was her in the Lovely Bones, and then she does the same acting that she always does. But that said, I thought it worked for this film. So
she carried this film.
She carried this.
But on this connection between Saoirse Ronan, I think it's important to bring in Joe Wright because she's the reason why he is attached to this project. Thoughts on Joe Wright?
Amazing.
Really?
Yeah, I thought he did a perfect directing job, as perfect as you can get with a flawed script. But there were still those problems with the script, so he did the best that he could, and I thought he did an amazing directing job.
Well, he's very good at directing camera. I mean, I just caught The Soloist, and everyone's familiar with Atonement. Yeah, I think he really is. He knows how to direct camera, and he knows visually what he's doing with the film. And I agree. I mean, I think he did the best job possible with the material.
I'm gonna disagree with this one. The kind of directors who just make fucking garbage and focus entirely on photography and soundtrack.
Right, no, but on this tip of Joe Wright, I think he brings an amazing art house sensibility to this action genre, which I haven't seen in the longest time.
There's a heart to it and there's a head to it.
Yeah,
so.
and visually, it's absolutely stunning.
One other point, as a Muslim, this is my pet peeve when directors will cut up the Arabic call to prayer and treat it as if it's music, but this director actually did a great job of being respectful to the indigenous sounds in each country that he went to, so that earned him major points in my book.
All right, so Chuck, you can't hate the soundtrack, can you?
Sure.
So please, go ahead, take your tickets. All right, so Leah.
I think Hanna was a great exploration into coming of age for young women in the modern period. And so for that, I'm going to say, see it.
Yes. Hasna.
So I thought there were a lot of problems with the story, but this movie was an amazing ride that you have to experience in the theater. And I'm going to go with my favorite reference of drugs again, and I'll say that if you're like me and you don't do drugs, you need to get your kicks in other ways. So this movie definitely hits the spot. See it.
Sweet.
Really the only thing I liked about this movie was Cate Blanchett's legs. Like all I could think about was just how much I wanted them wrapped around my face the whole time I was sitting there. And, yeah.
Sorry, your verdict would be?
Oh, skip it.
Liz.
I thought it was kind of like an art house geek version of Kick-Ass, and I really enjoyed myself, so I say see it.
So that is 3 tickets for Hanna, which is a movie I think you really have to see in the theater to get that audio-visual experience. And 3 tickets makes it a see it. So... Nice. Chin chin. Chin chin.